One of those players who is his bot lane partner Lost, though, who does go against Cloud9's Sneaky.
That's true. This is actually a clash of two AD carries that are coming from Academy very recently. And Sneaky finally picked up his first win on a marksman, breaking out the Quinn yesterday and moving away from the mages that he's been showing.
Maybe not what you would expect, but certainly a pretty strong champion. We'll see what happens here in the draft, though. Graves, Tom Kench, and Gangplank all banned by Cloud9, and Morgana, Kindred, Nocturne, leaving Aatrox kind of notably up there from that red side. But we're starting to see teams let a lot of these champions through. There's been quite a lot of change in the wind on 8-14.
Yeah, Nocturne was one of the first of the quote-unquote perma-bans to fall, as people decided there are plenty of other strong junglers, and you can play around it. But Aatrox getting through, we saw that, I believe, before it was against CLG, and they let that one through, and then just picked the Fiora into it. Give a little bit of extra attention early on, allowing you to scale through on that matchup. And C9 do not want to early pick it here, even with Licorice's great performances.
And it's been pretty interesting to see this champion rise back into the meta, not just as a strong champion, but as a priority champion. Bans for Orianna of all champions are starting to be seen, and Cloud9 do take it as their first pick here. Jensen, a lot of experience on this team with this champion.
Yeah, Orianna has been a premier blind pick in the LCK and also here in North America. Everyone feeling very comfortable about the survivability of her right now with the current stable of mid lane mages. So there's no super bad matchup, right? Getting that one early for Jensen could be huge for them. You always look for some assistance in the team composition for placing the shockwave. But if we look across already, Echo Fox, very standard here once again. They said yesterday, we're getting Varus the comfort pick for Lost. He performed well on it, so just get him the comfort pick again. Varus picked right up.
Yep, giving the new guys a pretty solid bot lane there in Varus and Braum, so kind of sensible drafting there for Echo Fox. Cloud9, though, hover Pike, but looks like they are going to take Aatrox for Licorice.
I mean, as long as he's had a decent amount of time on the champion, sometimes people will drop practicing a champion if it's permaban status, right? And so that's where you sometimes see things like permaban champions finally let through and then not having this great performance. But as long as you have a couple of recent games on Aatrox, I think he should be fine on it. The combos aren't too crazy to pull off. The mechanics are not as intense as something, like Riven.
And there's Pike, actually, a champion that took a little while to come into the NALCS.
I saw Smoothie today in makeup, and I was like, oh, you're going to take Pike against your old team and start getting kills? Cloud9 beat him to the punch. They grab it there for Zeyzal, and Zeyzal has been really, really on point with Pike in the Academy League, so we'll see if he can actually pull it off here in the North American LCS, because a lot of fans have been critical of Zeyzal. They were unhappy that Smoothie was benched for him in the first place, and now he's going to be on a high-performance champion. Definitely relies on hitting your skill shots and creating some roaming plays.
Well, with the rise of kind of the old mages, looks like Syndra is back here, the counter pick for Damonte up against Jensen's Orianna. But a Yasuo and a Fiora ban mean that both teams are still thinking about some of these strong solo lane carries.
Yeah, they did not feel the need to grab up one of these Aatrox outscale champion matchups or something like that early on here for Echo Fox. Remember that this is Echo Fox, the team at Rift Rivals that got absolutely dumpstered by Aatrox of the European teams 2 times, where Huni took Renekton into it, Phoenix tried to take Renekton into it. Both of them just got wiped. So let's see round number 3 here for Echo Fox versus Aatrox. We'll see if it haunts them, because already some of the other champions that have been successful against it are being banned out. Fiora off the table, so the outscale there not going to be the option. I would assume they would add one more, just kind of the tanky version. Just try and take your hits and stay safe there. In Mundo, not quite sure Huni would even kind of go that way, as we were talking before about him playing a lot more damage champions recently and not really playing the tank role.
Yeah, Talia and Mundo, the bans there for C9, but very curious. I mean, Echo Fox are almost saying, I don't necessarily think Orianna is going mid. I mean, Keith in Academy did play Orianna bot lane.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just hedging their bets and taking Yasuo away. Here they will actually take very safe champion here. Huni going to pick up the Poppy.
All right, Poppy, steadfast presence. You can block the first use of the dash from Aatrox. So if he tries to move one of his Qs to better hit you with the sweet spot, that's going to come in very handy. Poppy also, if you're throwing out flex picks here, Pastry can be a jungler. Actually is just fine at clearing the jungler. I think it would be quite good actually in competitive because tank junglers seem to thrive a bit more in competitive, but the crowd goes wild for the Quinn.
Yep.
Of course, Sneaky back on it again.
Quinn, Elise actually the last 2 picks there for Cloud9, so Sneaky will take Quinn once more, and Blabber is going to go back to Elise.
Holy moly. Elise, early game power here, and Elise got some recent buffs to her health scaling, so will be a little bit more tanky, but regardless, the champion was not changed as far as how you want to play it, right? You want to get your level 3, you want to go for early ganks, create early plays, and they have the team to do it, and it's going to be going up against Dardoch's Rengar, one of his favorite champions. Thousands of games on this in top lane and in jungle, and this is going to be a fun one, Pastry.
He's like, all right, you know, want to play Elise for the first time this split in the LCS, Blabber? I'll just play Rengar. Let's see how you can handle me in an aggressive jungle matchup. I mean, they waited a long time for this pick, made sure that everything was right for Rengar, but that's the pick Dardoch decided he wanted to run with.
Oh my goodness, so many options here for Cloud9. Roll down some of these champions that we do not see very often. Of course, Elise is going to have her pick of top lane or bottom lane as far as where she wants to work with and create some of the action. She can go for bottom lane through the lane ganks. Pyke is great at setting those up or following up on a cocoon that does hit. Meanwhile, of course, Aatrox, if you can get an advantage over Poppy, can still bully the Poppy. Steadfast Presence doesn't mean you can't use Qs or anything, just means that you have to make sure you position them well beforehand because it might be harder to correct.
I mean, we talked about Smoothie kind of helping out and hedging some of the aggression for his new teammates. Well, both these teams pretty aggressive when it comes to the early game especially, so I'm expecting quite a lot of action early, and this draft is, I think, indicating some of that as well.
I would expect nothing less from the Cloud9 Civil War here. Smoothie's first game against his old team.
How many different teams?
Very freshly bent.
Civil War.
This is the most recent of the Civil War splinters.
You know what? Might make a good franchise. I like it. C9 going to move out on a Summoner's Rift. Still trying to pick up wins at the bottom of the table. If Fox win, they will tie it with 2 other teams in first place. Not bad at all, given how close the league has been. But we do know that time has kind of been running out for Cloud9 to pick up wins and push for playoffs. So doesn't matter who they're playing, they got to win.
Yeah, one of the big scary things about making trades like this is you're making one of your opponents in the league stronger. As Cloud9 give Echo Fox something that they were seeking in Smoothie.
Yep, if you'd waited a week, wouldn't have to play.
If you had waited a week, it'd be past the trade deadline as well. So a bit unlucky there.
Well, it looks like everyone just fanning out. So despite the aggressive champions, nothing too crazy happening just yet. Smoothie and Lost are going to maybe investigate here around the mid lane, but good ward there from Cloud9 spotting all that movement out.
Yeah, you do always need to respect Braum level 1 possibility for going for invades there. Even though there is a Pyke Quinn on the other team, also decently strong there in the early game. Everybody just kind of playing defensively, and we won't have any invades right off the bat. Ghost Poro, definitely one of my favorite masteries that was recently changed in the patch. And we do have one here. If you can get it in just barely across the river into enemy territory, then you get the bonus adaptive damage, though. It'll give you either attack damage or ability power based on what your champion has. And especially for junglers, I've been having a lot of fun trying to hide those things somewhere in the enemy jungle because they will not time out. They only go away if someone on the enemy team walks into that brush and scares it away.
Well, you can see where the junglers have started. C9's still a little late to this lane because Dardoch started, as we know, on the red. Same for Blabber, but of course they're on opposite sides. So a bit of leashing help there as both junglers are going to move away from each other. In general, though, curious to see how the pretty aggressive duo lane plays out for Cloud9. Also, Smoothie probably going to play it pretty straightforward. And also Jensen on a pick that he has played so many times in a matchup that I'm sure he has a lot of experience in.
Yeah, there have been slight adjustments to this Orianna Syndra matchup over the years, but it hasn't really changed, right? The Syndra looking for the level 6 kill potential onto the Orianna. Early on, though, decent little trade here. Electrocute does proc, and the Syndra usually will go Electrocute for, of course, that burst potential because she's looking for the kill.
It's like Fox trying to get the bot lane pushed in right now, though. Dardoch was kind of down that way. He's on the crab right now, so he was potentially looking for some action in the bot lane. Not really the right spot for the wave. Instead, Dardoch is going to invade and check these Raptors. We'll see them, so should be able to steal this away. See what Blabber does here. If he also does the same and goes to the Raptors, trying to keep that even against Dardoch.
Yeah, Blabber also has Ghost Poro, so it's DeMonte with the red Ghost Poro and Blabber with the blue Ghost Poro. You can see his is right there in the river. He's going for the gank onto DeMonte, and Jensen's kind of baiting him in, but both junglers are there!
There's a stun. Dardoch might be able to get over the wall, but can't make it yet. The Cocoon not good enough. Not Blabber! He's going to get jumped on by Dardoch, who goes over the wall onto Jensen. Using that brush very well, but still, just a summoner burnt there.
Yep, no cooldown left there for Blabber on Cocoon. He used it early in his flash attempt on DeMonte, so they could not punish Dardoch for jumping over that wall. And a lot of summoners are blown here. Jensen will remain with the flash in mid lane, while DeMonte's is down though. And I think trading your jungler flash for the mid laner flash does benefit Cloud9 here, as DeMonte is going to have to be a lot more careful in this matchup in mid lane now that he does not have that reliability to get out. Whereas Elise, you can still go for ganks really easily just with the repel and range stun from Cocoon.
There's our first look at top lane though, and Licorice doing nice there to try to abuse Huni in that trade, but it looks like Huni's just going to maybe take a recall now and kind of get through the lane. That's all you really want to do as Poppy most of the time.
Yeah, unless you actually are Licorice. If we remember last week, his game on Poppy, he absolutely carried the game for Cloud9, or attempted to do so. And now kind of the tables have turned. Huni trying to use the Poppy against Licorice. We did get to see one of the interactions there on screen that we talked about in Champ Select, where Steadfast Presence, you can use it, put it up when you think that the Aatrox is going to use the Umbral Dash to correct the placement of one of his Qs and kind of interrupt that, get a little damage. Huni, but as you said, basically trying to soak up, get his minions done, and get more tanky.
Yep, 2 quick TPs here. Huni's just going to get a little bit of damage done as Licorice TPs back into the lane. Kindle Gem first for Aatrox versus Ruby Crystal Cloth Armor there. So Huni just trying to get some early stats for the lane. And here on the bot side, looks like the wave's pretty split in the middle. Whilst trying to throw some poke in there. Quinn not the longest range AD, but when she gets on top of you, it's feels real bad.
Definitely true. There it is. He does get sucked back in, but also got a bit of a block there. The Q is one of the areas that Poppy actually got buffs as well, her Hammer Shock. So that's why it does a lot of, I was going to say shockingly, but cut myself off there. A lot of damage. Here we go, though. Might get dove by Blabber. Elise, definitely one of the most notorious dive junglers here. You can trade your tower aggro off with a repel.
Wave looked a little thin, but Licorice kind of waiting to build this wave up. Huni going to try and spot this out. Does get the ward. Cocoon going to miss and stops the Venomous Bite there.
Well played there by Huni. One step ahead and quick reactions dealing with Blabber. Able to block the Q because it does count as a dash as well. And now he's got wards on the Elise, allowing Dardoch to take up an Infernal Drake for Echo Fox.
Yeah, respect for Huni not being greedy there in the top side of the map, just playing back, letting Licorice have that wave and giving his team over a Drake.
Yeah, it seems so weird to see Huni playing a tank, giving up CS, giving up the lane for the team gains here. Licorice, though, is doing a great job of bullying him off the minions. Huge amounts of experience are lost here from Huni, not to mention the gold. He can't even get close enough to get in experience range because Licorice and Blabber are continuing with this pressure.
Yep, they've taken over this side of the map for now. Dardoch is actually going to wander left side, but going to have to be careful because he probably rightly suspects Elise is still there. Ghost Pro there. Oh no! Scared away.
So 60 seconds you have to wait after it gets scared away before you can place it again. Not very long. But since he was on the enemy side, you are going to get the bonus stats as well. He was waiting around hoping that the Rengar would face check him. That's the main advantage that Elise does get, because then you get a free Cocoon into full combo and start your duel off with a large health lead. No harm, no foul there for Echo Fox, though. Still yet to draw blood on either side.
Yeah, quick roam here from Smoothie actually was maybe covering for continuation of that play by Cloud9. Instead, goes back, checks that everything's okay, and now going to walk back down to the duo lane there. Jensen has also taken a recent recall. Merc Treads +2 Doran's trying to keep safe against a Syndra that wants to kill him, especially now that she's over that level 6 mark, hitting at 7. Zayzon Sneaky continuing to farm things up. Early BF so here for the Quinn versus actually Lethality. We've seen a lot of this now from Varus, kind of defaulting back to those builds.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday with double lift, going with the tier plus lethality, spamming out his arrows, getting some poke down. Right now, Cloud9 getting some vision down for themselves, and they've done a very good job, actually, of clearing out the early vision in this river. Blabber should also be able to get the Scuttle Crab on top side because Dardoch is handing off the blue right now on the bottom half of the map. And he'll be able to get the large chunk of change here.
See if Huni can continue to play safe. Again, still being very cautious, letting Licorice push the wave up. His turret's pretty unhealthy. That's kind of the other part of the equation that could be problematic. But with no vision, Huni actually, again, being very respectful. Not really safe to walk up here. So instead actually has to cede probably this turret at this point.
Yep, as you said, trying to play for the team, soak up as much golden experience as he can while losing. But Licorice is definitely pressing his advantage well. First turret bonus gold is going to be the first domino here for Cloud9. As soon as they're able to get that, they can do the lane swap, and they can actually... Ooh, we are going to have both junglers head up top first, maybe even before this turret goes down, though.
Yeah, I think good instincts by both. Damonte even leaning left side as well. Huni kind of knows he's in trouble, and now going to see Blabber. Has his ult ready to go. Needs to clear out the wave speed cannon. I can't do it just yet. Blabber maybe have to finish it off. Instead, great flash by Huni. Slams Blabber into the wall. Dardoch now going to roam up here as well. He's looking to dive on a Licorice, but he pops well there for the resurrect. He's going to come back to life, and Blabber's trying to book it. Dardoch flashing in, grabs first blood, looking for second, but can't follow after Licorice flashes.
What a tragedy for Cloud9 as Huni's able to get the stun with one auto left on the turret. Still nails Blabber into the wall, and Dardoch actually might even circle around here on Licorice. There is a ward, but it's too late.
Yeah, they seize it now. Maybe a bit greedy from Licorice. Could try and take down Huni. Wants to get it, but the pull back in, and Dardoch claims yet another kill. Now bot side, Zeyzal low, goes down to Smoothie.
And it's the Echo Fox bottom lane here, trying to carry the top lane, Pastry. Topsy-turvy North American LCS indeed. Huni and Dardoch righted the top lane themselves just in time, though. Still, there's one hit left on that turret on top side as they were able to get the second kill onto Licorice here, and that's all 3 for Echo Fox. Just as it looked like Cloud9 were about to break through and start the dominoes falling, Huni forces that one to stay upright. He nails the Elise into the wall. Then they got him both on the chase. Licorice had to use his ultimate in retreat. Dardoch easy flash there for the first kill. And then Licorice can place the ward and think that he's okay here, but sticks around. Echo Fox make the call to dive, and they got another kill. And here goes
Blabber ignited an ulti. That actually might not be enough just yet. Needs a bit more damage. Good shield from Jensen. Damonte flashes in. He's going to claim the kill. Now Dardoch going to leap back in, but Zeyzal actually roamed up. Flips over with the skewer, but now Jensen not quite in range for another leap by Rengar.
Just like that, this game is all Echo Fox. 4 kills now for themselves, and they still have enough pressure to try and defend topside. Huni's going to head up there. Dardoch isn't quite there yet, so I don't know. Licorice might try and sneak in. But if you don't let the minions change their targets here, it'll just stay there and no gold for C9.
That is so good by Huni. Just manipulating those minions around, keeping the turret alive. I mean, it's gold that Licorice is expecting to get, but you actually have to hit the turret in order to get that first gold, so the more you can delay it, the better. He already flashed a Cocoon point blank to get that kill into Blabber, so Huni, even on a champion like Poppy, making things happen.
And even though this story on the top side is incredibly exciting, actually as Huni gets a pretty good trade there onto Licorice, we should note that on the bottom side, you know, in that 2v2 kill from the Echo Fox bottom lane, Smoothie was the one who killed Zeyzal. So he got a little...
Revenge story incomplete.
First-hand revenge there, getting his hands dirty.
All right, that's Act 1. We'll see what unfolds in the next few. A sneaky solo right now after Zeyzal did roam towards the mid to try and get pressure from that play that transpired. Licorice again also wants to play up and try and collect that bonus gold. Echo Fox almost holding a 2,000 gold lead. All that gold is not taken. We'll see if Huni can deny it for much longer. I'm not sure this wave is practical, but you never know with Huni. All right, looks like no. Licorice finally going to get that gold. Does collect 600 solo for himself, but it was pretty close, all things considered.
Meanwhile, this bottom lane still pushing relentlessly toward the turret on bot side, as Lost and Smoothie have a huge pressure advantage, firing away the arrows under the turret, keeping sneaky in dodge mode, and here comes Dardoch.
Yeah, they're going to try and take the turret and then get a kill. The Varasol already goes. Lost actually taking up tower. Zeyzal going to try and get the assassination, but he can't quite get it. Stunned just barely by concussive blows.
5-0 for Echo Fox and the Infernal Drake. They've also been able to answer towers here because of the success of this Varus Braum duo, and there's another Infernal Pastry setting up for it. Should be pretty easy for them because Zazel's still in the Death Chamber.
EP's here for both top laners, but you're right, I'm not sure Cloud9 fancy even a 4v5 around the objective. See what Blabber and Jensen can do. Maybe a steals in. Sightless Fox are going to TP in. I think that's lost.
Licorice is channeling his too.
All right, they are going to go for it. Demonte's going to see this. Will stun Licorice as soon as he comes down. Blabber coming in. He's already burnt Repel. He's going to try and get a kill, but he's actually a little too low. Dardoch trying to reset it. Cocoon does land. Jungle it down. There's a shutdown for Licorice. Pops his ulti. Might be enough here for Cloud9, but Huni has TP'd in. Going to try and play Gatekeeper as Zazel does grab him away, peeling him off the objective. Blabber finds the snipe and gets a kill on the jungler. Now no one's here to take the objective.
What a crazy little fight there as Dardoch running around with 200 HP, trying to avoid all of the DPS sources that have encircled him. In the end, Licorice is able to get to the center, get the kill onto the Echo Fox jungler, so they aren't able to pick up the Infernal Drake, but they still were able to get a kill back as well. And I definitely expect them to return to the scene of the crime. Back out to the Dragon once again, even though all teleports have been used up in this game now.
Well, it looks like recall for Licorice. See how that transpires. But watching this one again, everyone just wanted to join the fight, Kobe.
Yeah, and Dardoch was tanking the Dragon. Then nice job there by Blabber. He got his combo off before he repelled, getting Dardoch that low. And Licorice, good move on Aatrox. He gets to the center in between 4 Echo Fox members, uses his ultimate, able to just crawl out and barely get out of range of the stun. Then lost there for Echo Fox, finds the counter kill, and is able to use his flash to get into range for that arrow, finish off the snipe.
Well, looks like teams are just setting back up here. Zazel and Blabber first to the scene. We have at least one controller down here for Cloud9 around the area. Sneaky also getting this push in.
Remember, as we said too, the teleports were all used, so Licorice showing on top side there with the Aatrox lets Echo Fox know that they have a man advantage down around this Infernal Drake, and they can return to the objective.
Oh, Sneaky left alone. One more stack. That needs an auto. Lost not in range. 575, somehow not enough. Get a flash in. Smoothie! He did it again!
Smoothie. He was going to let Lost have that kill until it looked like Sneaky was getting away. And he wrangles him back in. Smoothie flashes forward. He gets another kill on one of his old teammates and his old lane partner.
2/5 of the way through the achievement, Kobe. And I guess he got the important ones first. Licorice still pressuring here in the top side. But Huni with the Sunfire Cape keeping him at bay pretty reasonably. Licorice still has a pretty significant gold lead individually versus Huni. But Huni absorbing a lot of that pressure, and Fox getting ahead on the map. Still up 2,000 gold and now 2 Infernal Drakes.
Cloud9 thinking, we have created a monster now with Echo Fox, giving them Smoothie, move their import slots around, allowed them to get lost in here too, and now Echo Fox are just on a tear. It looks like Lost will, at this rate, have an undefeated LCS record. Smoothie now is topside, looking for Licorice.
That fast ult there from Huni, not enough. Jensen, though, caught in the crossfire between Arenga and a Syndra.
All right, they're still on the invade here. It looks like a little bit of a collapse from Cloud9, but Echo Fox should be fine defending themselves as they've got the extra kill. Sneaky's on bottom side, so huge numbers advantage and alone time with this mid turret.
Yep, trying to keep them off the turret with Jensen dead. A lot of wave clear lost here as Demonte is going to try and finish it off. Looks like Lost himself wandering bot side though, so this turret will still stay alive for Cloud9. Sneaky also starting to sound the ulti. See if he does want to move around. Does have Stormrazor finishes. We'll watch this exchange again.
All right, Dardoch popped the ult. You can see him there. Demonte is in Fog of War. Jensen walks right up. He's able to hit him, and Dardoch comes right back around from the blue buff. Uses his flash there to get into range, and then another use of the brush passive jump to be able to get the extra auto there, and another tooth for his necklace.
I mean, Dardoch did give away some shutdown goal, but he is 4-1-0 in this game. Tiamat Warrior already done, building in what looks like a Phage, probably a Black Cleaver coming in as that second item. I mean, he's done this before, snowballing a game on Rengar, but is set up to carry.
And actually, his 4 kills were unique kills. He has 4 teeth in his Bone Tooth necklace right now, which is a large amount of pretty free attack damage. Gonna give him 16% bonus attack damage in addition to all of the long swords that he has in inventory. So this is definitely the very scary Rengar, level 11 now, so he's got level 2 in the Predator ultimates, and every member of Cloud9 kind of has to stick together at this moment. At least they get picked off again.
Looks like Fox have actually swapped Huni down to his bot side, currently battling Sneaky. A little 1v1, but some farm time here for both. I mean, Licorice still maybe set up to get something done. Has 1.5 items, sorry. 2.5 would be quite good.
Yeah, I mean, what a time to be alive, Pastry. Huni is the one on Echo Fox down in CS, lost pressure, played back, didn't die at all this game, and is just playing tank duty frontline there, building up the health, building up the damage resistances for his team. That's having a pretty decent time at carrying.
Objective control continuing nicely as well as Echo Fox do take down the Rift Herald. Zeyzal and Blabber again trying to pressure onto the Fox top laner, but Huni playing back. Lost is taking a turret.
New and improved Huni. He's playing safe, Pastry. Backing up. He's allowing the trade in pressure. And this is what you kind of have to do when you have 3 members on the top side of the map. You know bottom side is your weak side, so he gives up a lot of the pressure. But again, one hit left on that turret, and Sneaky not quite able to finish it.
Oh, Blabber about to jump Dardoch. We're going to maybe repel down, but the last turret shot's going to chase him. Does get a kill. Smoothie already popped the ulti to try and disengage it, but Zeyzal low. We're going to get sniped. Does go down to Smoothie. The ignite is enough to tick him down. They won't grab the turret either. Smoothie now going to get latched back in. No, walks out of the area just in time.
Another kill for Smoothie. This one on Zeyzal as well. And even though Dardoch gets annihilated under the turret by a great combo there from Blabber, Echo Fox still got the charge off there with Rift Herald. The turret is extremely low, and they got a kill for themselves as well in the Pike.
Now Jensen is, back in trouble. Oh, flash from Huni. What a stun into the turret. Smoothie collects his 4th kill of the game, and that's going to be mid out for Fox as well.
Huni right over the Raptor wall there. Able to get involved in the game and still have a bit of fun. He has had 2 very good flash charges so far this game. Doing quite nicely for himself. And again, he has a turret with 1 hit left on it. Maybe Echo Fox try and bait with that again. Let's take another look at this play, though. As you can see, there's no vision for Cloud9. Huni able to get the flash right over, stuns him into his own turret, and then they kill that turret for good measure as well.
I mean, Fox in the right place. Huni just making the play to capitalize on perhaps Jensen being a touch too aggressive. Looking to protect his turret. Huni continuing to do the same, though. A little more durable as a gatekeeper here, but Licorice once again trying to get the turret gold.
Yeah, Cloud9, looking at it from their perspective, they really need to cash in and actually topple these things, because they are having a rough time in trying to regain control around the map now, with Echo Fox having this fed Rengar and continually pick people off and create plays for them. They can't afford to continue to lose control of the map right now. That's why you can see so many control wards out for them. They're trying to push them out into the river so that they have ample time to try and react.
You kind of step back and just look at the kind of lead that Fox has built up a turret. They took the mid outer crucially, which is kind of the tough one to take, and up 3,000 gold. Given how much attention was paid to Huni, certainly the rest of the map has done really well to get a lead, and Huni's done a great job playing safe and continues to do so as Licorice is trying to hound him there in the bot side. Sneaky also kind of roaming around. He wants a pick on this Quinn, but Fox doing a nice job kind of sticking on the correct parts of the map. Not giving too many opportunities for Cloud9 to play aggressive.
Yep, they do have teleports ready for the top laner. So as Echo Fox are invading here, Smoothie flashes for it.
Insta flash forward, Lost barely going to miss with that chain of corruption. Sneaky does flash out of the way, but Dardoch just going to take down Blabber, who is collateral for that play.
They just continue to push the tempo here. Smoothie flashes in, creates the play there for Echo Fox.
They got a Baron.
Follow up there for Dardoch. They definitely should. This turret's going to fall just to minions here, and Cloud9 are left without a jungler to answer.
I did wonder why they weren't taking the turret, but you're right, the minions do finish it off, and Fox feels strong enough to just get onto the Baron at just under 22 minutes. Here comes Licorice, Huni going to join in as well. Monte maybe looking for the sniper. Fox seemed committed to this play. Huni with the ulti does get one. It's Licorice that they pop out, but they need to maybe try and get the damage out onto the Baron again. Sneaky going to get kept out. He gets thrown into the wall. Who's going to grab the smite? Lost. He somehow gets the Baron, but I think Fox may lose the fight in the pit. Smoothie about to fall, does go down, but he might delay for a little while longer. The dual lane for Fox is down, and now Huni getting chased. Licorice over the wall finds the dash. And Huni just going to buy time, but I think he is forfeit for this play.
He's tanky boy, though.
Oh, tanky enough, perhaps. No, the damage still following. Not enough as Zeyzal going to get a revenge kill.
3 kills go to Cloud9 as they chase Echo Fox out of that Baron. And Dardoch did smite a little bit early, so lost his auto attack, I believe, was what got the Baron for them. Regardless, Echo Fox have 2 Baron buffs that they need to make use of, because Cloud9, not only did they get those 3 kills, but they're also going to be able to get mid-turret, it looks like, as Jensen sticks around to finish this one off, and Dardoch has his eyes set on another target.
Yeah, I think doesn't have enough vision to be too aggressive and only just got his ulti back up. He's going to pop it now. I think Jensen will be the target. Going to get jumped on. Dardoch does so much damage! Jensen just wiped off the map once more by the Rengar.
All right, with Jensen down and Baron buff available for Echo Fox to push with, they could clean up Dragon and then try and get some more gold out of the secondary turrets. Both of these left standing in mid and bottom would be prime targets. And they go through the jungle.
Fox actually just playing aggressive, trying to force more pressure on the C9's turrets. Damonte already got this wave going, and they do have a couple Baron buffs left. So enough to try and force a siege here. Should be able to get this turret pretty easily. The gold lead continues to mount here for Echo Fox.
All right, still pushing ahead. Huni there in the mid lane, ushering up those minions, while the rest of Echo Fox, here we go, base tree!
Dardoch once again gets caught, shut down there for Sneaky. A very important gold bounty claimed. But now Zeyzal looking for the flash loss, gonna flash out of that skewer. Zeyzal did commit his own summoner for the play, but he'll be happy to trade with the marksman.
Nice pick there for Cloud9, buys them some time, as they needed to put a stop to the Baron-empowered push here from Echo Fox. And because with the initial Baron take, Cloud9 got 3 kills onto Echo Fox and the mid lane turret, even though Jensen did go down, Cloud9 did not fall that far behind in gold from this actual Baron take. They got a lot in the process, and now they're looking to get Huni once again.
Yeah, Huni knows, again, gonna play it safe. Still pretty tanky, but 1v3, dodges the skewer, pops the presence, now have to run out, flashes out of the way as Zeyzal tried to find the stun. But the E doesn't connect, and Huni gets out of there.
All right, now they're gonna have to pull back here, as that was definitely an extension and use of quite a lot of resources there for Cloud9. Thankfully, during that time, Echo Fox, most of the team was purchasing on a recall, so they don't lose out anything on it. Almost enough time for Baron to time out. They've got 40 more seconds here left with it, and a minion wave in mid lane might be the one that they push to try and get some tower gold.
Yeah, it's just Damonte that has it, so I think Fox will have to settle for a tier 2 turret only.
Or if they can even get that.
See if they can, but looks like they'll back off and again just kind of use what they could, but know that they need to sort of reset the map. They did get the Ocean Drake as well, despite Dardoch being dead. Nice play from Fox to maybe guess that Cloud9 were going to go top and take the objective off the map despite having no smite. So as far as snowballing that particular objective goes, Fox have held a very firm control of this game, and the gold lead still reflecting it up again around 2,500 to 3,000.
And even though Cloud9 are doing a good job staying in this game and keeping it competitive, good job going to the side lane there. If you look at the overall team composition, the Echo Fox 5-on-5 is easier to execute later in the game as we go. Lost and Damonte can stay pretty far back, and it's very difficult to get to them, as Braum and Poppy are 2 of the best feeling champions for a 5-on-5 brawl. I mean, if you're trying to fight with Cloud9's composition later on, and you got Aatrox and Elise getting in there, and your marksman is Quinn, it's going to be so much more difficult to actually pull off one of those, and you're going to have to look for big plays from either Pyke or, Elise picking someone off instead into big shockwaves from Jensen. Cloud9 are going to definitely have to make use of their crowd control very effectively if they want to get a foothold back into this game.
Have to agree. Obviously a lot tougher when you don't have as much map control, so Fox, again, continuing to manage their waves and stick together, still trying to siege with no major objectives up just yet to take on those monsters. Baron up in a couple minutes, and of course, they took the last strike about 2-ish minutes ago. But C9, with especially Orianna now having 2 items and building up towards 3, Jensen pretty comfortably can wave clear there, and Licorice is continuing to be a side lane pest, and soon, if not now, a side lane threat, even against the tanky Poppy.
Yeah, Licorice here on the Aatrox, still doing work. He's level 16 now, so the cooldown on his ultimate is extremely low. In addition to building the Black Cleaver, that one brings it down to 84 seconds. So he can basically ult every time it's even close to needing it, use it for the move speed, get in there, in or out, trying to apply that side lane pressure. And of course, Aatrox, another big thing about his kit is with the Qs, you can clear minion waves very quickly. So he's trying to utilize that to the best of his ability and get the minion waves into a good spot for Cloud9 to to get a bit more creative and try and find that angle that we're talking about.
Certainly fight ready. Jocelyn back to finish his third item, Death Dance. So we'll kind of have to wait and see what happens at the next engage. Minute 15 or so until Baron is back up. Fox going to try and take yet another one. Probably a little smoother than last time is what they're hoping for, but Cloud9 should know this. If they want to try and pick a fight, have some opportunities coming up.
Dardoch coming down the mid lane. They still don't have Huni. Teleport is available, but he's going to have to channel it early if they want him to join the fight.
Sneaky just playing front lane Quinn right now, running up towards these squishier targets and just threatening to jump on them.
He does have a lot of front-loaded damage there with the Storm Razor giving you your crit for the static Shiv. So if he does get close to one of the squishier targets, then Sneaky can definitely pull off a big burst combo and get some damage out very quickly. So the rest of the members, if Huni's not there, do have to play a little bit more defensively and rely on just Smoothie there on the Braum to protect them and keep them safe. But a good job by them. They don't panic. They don't use the teleport. They just let the minion wave build right up. Top side now is going to have to be dealt with. Cloud9 have that one pushing.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of administration being done now by both teams, trying to get the waves in the right spot, prepare for Baron, get vision, and spend gold as well. Demonte did just go back and finish a Void Staff, but I think both teams have a decent amount of gold to still go and spend, and you, of course, want to be maximally strong for the upcoming team fight, as Baron is now spawning. Now an objective that the teams can once again fight for is Cloud9 rush all the way over there.
And Cloud9 have been actually gaining, closing this gold gap here with Echo Fox. And look at the vision. They've absolutely taken over all of the vision around Baron. In addition to closing most of the gold, they're just lying in wait, looking for one of those picks. The Pyke, the Elise, or even Jensen here landing one of these. Shockwave!
Oh, very nice. Gets two, finds the bot lane, lost for the flash away, but Sneaky to try and chase it. Does immune the ult there from Pyke. Smoothie on the front side, he's going to die as Licorice managed to find the kill. Huni, he's TP'd in, but he's actually just trying to fight for his life in a 1v3. Burn the ult, make it 1v4, he flashes, but still to his death. A volley flash from Blab is going to give him the kill.
Revenge for Cloud9. They find 3 kills onto Echo Fox, and that is going to be control of Baron. Dardoch is still alive for Echo Fox and could try and jump in there, try and go for a steal, but if he got it, it would be by a huge mistake from the Cloud9 members. Let's see if he can actually work his way around Zeyzal. That Baron is already low.
Love what Zeyzal did there. Went out, tried to find the Rengar, took away the Blast Cone, and Fox left with no options as Cloud9 pick up the team fight win and the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, Echo Fox kind of walked right into Cloud9 right there, and taking that opportunity, Jensen lands the Shockwave, everyone immediately jumps onto Lost, and they splinter Echo Fox's composition here. They're not able to set up the battle lines, not able to have their tanks there ready to peel. Look at Huni's in the bottom side when it starts. As he said, the channel on teleport takes so long that the fight is almost over before Huni even arrives. Smoothie's already dead. The backline is already being zoned in addition to Lost already be taken out. So the 4-man squad, I would say this time around for Echo Fox.
Oh! What a hook from Zeyzal, but Dardoch does burn the flash to stay alive. Now it's Cloud9 with still 2 minutes 30-ish left on the Baron, playing much more aggressively, trying to close the gap in gold and turrets. In fact, the gold gap is evaporated. They're even. Now Cloud9 are playing to get ahead.
Yeah, that was a huge late-game mistake there from Echo Fox. I mean, Lost had his Ghost Blade on, but him and Smoothie had just kind of walked right up onto the ball for Jensen. And so Jensen's like, you know what? You're going to give it to me? I'll take it.
One of the reasons Orianna has been such a good champion for so long. A Shockwave can change a single game pretty easily. Jensen's experience paying off, punishing Fox for their mistake there in positioning.
What a way for this game to turn. Echo Fox had such a big early advantage, and they have 2 great tanks that they just needed to keep in front, but they were unable to do so, and Cloud9 jumped on the opportunity while Echo Fox are split, and then punished them heavily.
Yep, trying to maximize turret taking potential while they have the Baron. Looks like they're going to leave the Mountain Drake off for now, though Blabber is walking down to solo that one out pretty comfortably. Licorice will be able to take that turret with the help from the empowered minion wave. Cloud9 starting to play catch-up, now ahead in gold by about 2,000.
Hey, you look at that graph. Mostly Echo Fox for the majority of the game, but Cloud9 find their opportunity, and they capitalized on it. Mountain Drake also going to be picked up here. Still a minute left on the Baron as well, and now Sneaky is 3 items. Infinity Edge is done, so that burst damage that we talked about turns into a large portion of true damage there from the Infinity Edge, 20%. In addition, Quinn, the way the champion kit is made, the cooldown on your Harrier is going to go down with critical strike that you build. So he's going to be able to get off his combos that much quicker. Honestly, his attack pattern and team fight doesn't make a huge difference because you proc most of them with your abilities anyways, but it does help for super long ones where you're trying to work your way through, let's say, Poppy.
Yeah, I mean, trying to shoot that tank, going to need it. Whatever you can get in that department as blue buff is going to be stolen away here by Cloud9. Gifted over to Jensen. 25 seconds left on Baron. Probably means we're done sieging for now, but Cloud9 at least with empowered waves. But they took away that Drake. They get a mountain for themselves. Elder will be coming up as the next objective in that pit. And of course, Baron will be back up once the buff has worn off and a few more minutes have transpired.
It is actually the nerfed Infinity Edge down to 15%, I believe. So not quite as much true damage, but still significant. And let's see here. Everyone lying in the brush. Will Echobox get it?
Lost might find a pick, but Jensen popped into stasis. That's Glacial Fury going to go awry. Going to force Jensen to flash, though. See Licorice up the top. He was just fighting Huni through a wall for a second. That looked kind of funny. But still sieging for Cloud9. A lot of cooldowns burned to try and kill Jensen, but pops his summoner, pops his stasis, and he's okay for now.
Guardian Angel on Licorice. He walks up, tanks the turret a little bit. They get a lot more damage dealt down to it. And Cloud9, they have top lane pushing already as well. So they have plenty of time to work with.
Huni flipped over, going to get pulled back once more. Again, needs a lot of free time to try and take down this tank, but not doing a bad job there on the Cloud9 side. Fox pretty dug in trying to defend this turret. Can be dangerous if Jensen can find another shockwave angle.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to keep your eye on the ball. Don't walk on that one. Second time in a row. Lost, you can see he's keeping his distance there. Uses the ghost blade, but Smoothie's got out.
Caught by a Cocoon. Blabber is going to let Jensen confirm that kill. Turret falls as well. Cloud9 with 40 seconds of a 5v4.
Cloud9 want their spot in playoffs, and they want their attempt at making the Worlds run. They're going to have to go through Smoothie to do it, and even with the great early game that Smoothie and Echofox had, it looks like Cloud9 are storming their way into the base now.
They're just trying to knock down some turrets and find more picks with all their crowd control. Waves again also played well by Cloud9. Oh, Demonte gets hooked over. He's going to try and take down Zazel, but it's actually not going to happen. Demonte falls. Licorice chasing in. Now they're going to take down Huni. Dada can't really do anything. Does maybe get away for a second longer, but Jensen able to get that kill. There's another ult finds Zelda, but he goes in as on. He's now Lost getting chased down. Licorice going to be able to chase that flash easily. Dada did snipe sneaky, and he's going to pull off the way, but the turret still dies in the trade. C9 getting a little bit more in these trades.
Yeah, that big minion wave from topside doing work. They just rotate over there. Inhibitor's going to get killed. Inhibitor in mid lane will be easy to take up as well.
Zazel finds it. Shockwave clips too. Good ult there from Smoothie to try and disengage, but still the turret's being threatened. Smoothie forced to flash out of the chains by Aatrox. And these Nexus turrets not long for the world.
Cloud9 inches away here from moving up to 5 and 7, and Dardoch is very close to going down.
Fox trying to get it done, but Cloud9 going to do it one win at a time.
Oh.
Slowly but surely, Cloud9 approach Worlds.
They are really making you sweat if you're tracking the journey as well, because Lost and Smoothie, so good in the early game, they made it very difficult for Cloud9, but that needs to be a lesson for you. The late game mistake, 30 minutes into the game, step onto a shockwave, and Cloud9 completely turned the game around.
Yeah, Jensen was kind of getting bullied for a lot of that game, to be honest. A lot of pressure in his lane. Dardoch was consistently seeking him out, but on shockwave is kind of all it took for everything to just keep pushing Cloud9's way. And after that, the pick just came thick and fast. Zazel's hooks, at some point, he just kind of calibrated fully, and everyone was getting hit.
Threw out a couple of them early on, judged the distance, and then he was able to find those kills.
I mean, I don't remember what point we were at where Sneaky was like, yeah, we can only lose 3 games. I don't know if in their minds their backs are against the wall, but I feel like they must be playing like it. They know that all they have to do is just take each game one at a time and just keep picking up wins. And to their credit, this weekend, they have done it.
I mean, there is no obviously super weak team in the North American LCS this year. There is no trash can team that's sitting down there with 1 win or 0 wins. Everybody is basically middle of the pack. The entire pack is in the middle, Bay Street.
Well, we'll see if they can keep crawling, of course. If they want to get to Worlds, they'll need to get the playoffs, so they're going to start there. But to hear more about that victory, let's send it down to Ovally and Cloud9's rookie support.
Thanks, guys. Zazel, congratulations on the win. You were taking on Smoothie, who did not make that early game easy for you. I mean, you took the win. You took his starting spot. What's it like playing against a former teammate?
So playing versus Smoothie is actually unique because he knows a lot about my play style, and I know about his, but he's just super good. So playing versus him is like playing, it's definitely still like playing a top 3 support, maybe even #1. He's super smart. He's a very vocal. His team will play around him, and that means you got to only watch for how good he is, but also how well he has his team play around him.
And in this playoff run, every single win carries so much weight. So how are you handling the pressure?
The pressure of replacing Smoothie alone is a lot, and then not only with a bad start, but then in addition to that, we have to win basically every game to make playoffs. So in terms of how I handle it, I mostly just try to avoid thinking about it, and and I just do my best every game. And this game wasn't the best for me, but my team played really well.
Well, Zazel, thank you. And for more on the game, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. What a game! And we got Cody Sun here to help us make sense of it all, or try to make sense of it all, because Cloud9 coming away with a victory over Echo Fox here, and this following a win over TSM yesterday in crunch time. This is the team that everyone was pitching is going to really struggle to make playoffs. This is the beginning of that run.
Yeah, and we were almost lulled into thinking this was going to be an Echo Fox victory. We're like, it was 10 kills to 1 at one point. We're thinking like, wow, this Smoothie thing. But then the game just kind of turned for C9. You looked up and they had vision control and mid priority and only a 2,000 gold deficit. And I really got to hand it to them for not tilting in this game after they lost a lot early and pulling it through when it counted.
Yeah, we'll get to that comeback in just a moment, but this is how it started. Great for Echo Fox in response to what was a winning lane for Licorice, but kills coming through for Dardoch and Huni.
Yeah, I think the big thing there is the fact that that was like a 40 CS lead. They greeted out for the turret and they got that kill, and then they try to get another one. They're able to grab it, and that was a 2-for-0, both on Dardoch, who then started getting out of control, and the Elise was something we were scratching our head at a little bit, like great dives around the top side, a little telegraph that they want to play up there.
Talk to me about Elise here.
I think so C9, since they early drafted Elise like that, and then they were really like heavily prioritizing to make snowball Aatrox ahead for their top lane, it kind of made it really obvious. So Fox was just able to play around that really well in the early game, avoid the first gank, and then once Rengar turned 6, they like 2v2'd and then just smashed the top lane.
And it kind of has some like extraneous effects to the bot lane, because as you mentioned, with a telegraph of Elise going to be up top lane often, you know you kind of have that isolated 2v2 on the bot side. And this is the second time we've seen the Quinn come out for Sneaky, one of the first guys to bring that out on stage, as well as Averis on the other side, this time going for that lethality build, as you're one of the most experienced bot laners on this desk. Can you give me a little bit of insight into these two picks? One of the most.
I mean, back in my day, Dash.
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, if Freak were here, he'd probably contest, you know, that he's got some amount of knowledge that rivals it. But break it down for me. Quinn, Varus, why are these two picks showing up, and how do these two picks interact within the lane?
So with Varus right now, it's really strange because NA has the highest priority on Varus as a champion right now. You know, it's being picked or banned like every single game, and we don't really see that in other regions. But I think the reasoning for why NA has such high prio on Varus is because that he can have two very flexible builds and two different different play styles. And this game he went for the lethality, and I think the reasoning is because C9 didn't really have that great of an engage for mid to late game, so he should have theoretically been able to just poke them, get them really chunked, and then control vision from there.
For a long time, that's what was happening, but we kind of get to that mid lane, or rather mid game, and things, as you mentioned, Jad, started to turn around in favor of Cloud9 following this Echo Fox.
Well, yeah, and one thing you're going to notice here is that Smoothie picks up a lot of kills, so the goal distribution isn't where it wants to be. This one, you could argue,
angry.
Could be played angry, could be just kill securing, but the Q would have picked up that kill. Smoothie ended up with 4 kills very early on in the game, because this is where Echo Fox was really playing at an extremely high level, getting every kill they needed to. Demonte was playing well, Dardoch was popping off, and they were controlling vision very well in the mid-game.
And we were starting to talk about how, like, wow, this looks like a totally different Echo Fox, because on the top side, they sacked it early on, where they used to play around Huni nonstop. They actually let him fall 30 CS behind before they started turning it around, and then they continued to play well in the mid game. And so we thought we were building a reel for like another Echo Fox smashing, and are they the best team in NA now? And then this stuff starts happening.
Right, gonna pick up the Baron here, but drop 3 members to Cloud9 in the aftermath fight.
Yeah.
And this was kind of the beginnings of the comeback.
It got very scary in here as the smite isn't actually what secures the Baron, so this could have actually been even worse. Losing 3 here is a bit of a wash, and it's more about what happens after that, but then they don't get anything for the Baron because Dardoch gets picked off. C9 control vision. One of the classic Jensen Orianna plays is to pick him in a composition that actually doesn't have great initiation, and you're fine because he always seems to find that good shockwave. Jensen starts it off right there. C9 wins another fight. They get the Baron after that one and just never seem to let go. If that's correct, like, that was one of the best 8,000 damage Orianna games I've seen.
Well, and Licorice was 1v3ing on the backside of that fight, so like Echo Fox couldn't even step up to try and help out the front line at all, and that was the result of Licorice getting ahead early on, and it was really surprising to see this comeback kind of come out of nowhere.
Actually, for that turn where C9 was able to get that really good 5v5, I think we have to give a lot of credit to Sneaky's Quinn, because I mean, Quinn isn't really that strong in the early game, so we saw them lose 2v2 and then lose Botcher, but I think once mid-game hit, Quinn's tempo was just too fast for Fox to really react to, and he was able to make that side lane to mid-rotation and then look for that really clean 5v5.
We talk all the time about control, right, of the game at the competitive level, and I think when we look at 100 Thieves, it's a team that really exemplifies that. We were talking about it a bit today, this idea that the mid to late game for 100 Thieves is really where they turn it on because of their ability to play the map and not necessarily the fights itself. Echo Fox, to me, screams exactly the opposite. Less about playing the map, more about playing the fights.
And that Baron, the first one that they lost, like, it's about an even trade in terms of gold and pressure, but for a team that's down 1 kill to 10 or whatever it was at that point, that's not a good trade for Echo Fox. And then Dardoch died again after that when they still had the Baron buff, and then that led to the situation where the Quinn could start controlling the side lanes.
I mean, I do think, playing with Dardoch in the past, he is the type of player that, if he gets a kill or 2, then he starts to really pop off. But once he gets focused and then dies once, then he does kind of fall into that negative mentality. Yeah. So maybe that has something to do with it.
And one thing that I was kind of hoping would happen with Echo Fox with Smoothie on the team is that Smoothie would be able to pull him out of that spiral if it starts going wrong.
Right.
And I felt like we saw it yesterday when some things were almost going wrong and Smoothie pulled him back. And it didn't happen this game, so it's not a situation where Echo Fox makes the trade and is immediately the best team. They still got work to do mixing with each other.
We saw glimpses of it yesterday, as you mentioned, a little bit of a step backwards this time around, but a big win for Cloud9 again in that race for a playoff spot. Cody, thank you so much for joining us here on the desk today. We got to move on. Stepping away for just a bit. When we return, it's Game 5, Optic Gaming versus Golden Guardians. Don't touch that browser.